All right, welcome in. Welcome into another fantastic Saturday. I'm Otis. That's Jimmy. We're looking at week 9 of the college football playoff schedule here. And I'm telling you, Jimmy, there's not a lot of heavyweight battles going on today, but that doesn't mean they don't have some serious implications down the road, especially if we can see those type of matchups that get us a team knocked off here and shuffle the lineup in the top 25 and possibly create solidification in your playoffs or maybe possible contention here.
Yeah, man, this is a real, I don't know, it's a quiet week, but I mean, always gotta be careful. This is like a landmine. Hey, watch out, sleepy Saturday, you might get caught lacking.
You're not lying. You could get caught lacking. Speaking of caught lacking, a team that's caught a couple teams lacking the last 3 weeks. Our first game of the week, noon kickoff, UCLA at number 2, Indiana. Indiana is minus 24.5. Cignetti and Indiana cruising through the Big Ten so far with a 4-0 record, and then number 2 ranking UCLA below average this season. However, they have won the last 3 games in a row, and they're looking to continue that streak and maybe get a bowl berth. Indiana wants another notch under the belt in the Big Ten and marching towards the Big Ten championships and possibly a national title game. We'll see how that works out. What do you think, Jimmy?
I think UCLA's rolling ever since they got rid of Deshaun Foster. I mean, they're 3-0. A lot of those UCLA fans say they're 3-0, which I think is hilarious. 24.5 is a really big number too. I would lean more towards the points because this game's either going to go one of two ways. Either UCLA keeps it really close, or they're just going to get ran over. My favorite play is the over in this game, actually. But if I'm having to choose a side, I'm taking the points. But I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana just comes out and just spanks them.
Yeah, we are on the same page here. Like the Hoosiers to win the game overall, straight up. But love the points with the Bruins and love the over as well. All right, another matchup in the ACC this time. Your Virginia Wahoos minus 10.5 at the North Carolina Belichick's. ACC matchup in Chapel Hill as the Cavaliers are 6-1. This is known, and I don't know if you know this, this is known as the South's oldest rivalry. North Carolina and North Carolina were one of the first 2 colonies in America. So this brings back a little history, if you will. But the only thing we have here is a big-name coach who has absolutely done nothing for his program, and a team who continues to march towards national relevance. They've been relevant the last 3 years. And for me, there's no doubt about this game. I mean, the Tar Heels have zero chance of winning this game, nor ever being relevant as long as Belichick and his girlfriend are running that program. Give me the Wahoos by 17.
I like that, Otis. I really do. I'm glad you on the Wahoo train. Listen, USC wasn't even like they kept it close with California last week, which is insane. It was just a fumble after fumble. I don't know. They don't play good. Virginia's getting the defense healthy again. I feel like we roll here. We haven't been the best in covering spreads, but I feel like I don't know North Carolina. They don't strike fear in me, man. I'm with my Wahoos all day, twice a day, 3 times a day. We're winning this game. We're rolling the ACC chip, bro.
All right, before we move forward, let's get a little business out of the way. Mention all of our sponsors: BetUS, MyBookie.ag, Walmart, MLB Shop, NFL Shop, and then also we have a merch store. You guys can use the QR code in the upper corner here to get all your merch for our Not Moved podcast, and get hoodies, sweatshirts, T-shirts, all that good stuff. All right, let's move on to this AAC matchup. Not a very big Group 5 following for the AAC. As far as national rankings go, number 18 USF, that's South Florida, minus 5.5 at Memphis. Both teams are 6-1, hoping to make some noise and get closer to the playoffs in an underwhelming conference. The Bulls are clicking on offense, and the Tigers are coming off a loss. Many people not familiar with both these teams. Jimmy, what do you got, and who stands out in this one?
Well, I mean, I feel like the winner of this conference is going to get that Group of Five bid because people don't like the American, which I feel is I don't know. You're not really on football wavelength if you're not on the American football, just because there's some solid teams in here in this conference. I like USF in this spot just because I think Memphis is gonna trot out their hurt quarterback and then switch to the freshman quarterback that actually played pretty good. But if they start with their freshman, it could get frisky off rip. I'm with the USF. They play better comp and they didn't get caught lacking last week. Last week they could say it was a look ahead game for this one for Memphis, but you got beat by UAB, bro. You're not very good. You ain't. I don't know. I don't think USF is getting beat by UAB.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about Memphis as much as I do know about the Bulls. The Bulls have been one of those hover teams in the top 25. They've been like 28, 29 the last couple of years. So I like the Bulls as well. I like the way that their program is moving forward. Before we move on to the 3:30, 3 o'clock games, just mention Bet US as one of our sponsors. Thank you to those guys for continuing to support our Not Move podcast. All right, so big matchup in the SEC here in Nashville. Number 15, Missouri at number 10. That's right, folks. Number 10. The Commodores are number 10 in the country. And you should not be surprised by this based on the way they've been trending the last 2 years. They are a minus 2.5 favorite. But I believe whichever team wins this, Jimmy, is the team that's going to be able to push themselves toward the playoffs, but not quite be in yet because of the fact that I feel like a conference championship is looming for one of them. And Missouri's pass defense is not very good. The Commodores may be able to move the ball through the air. We do know that Hardy is the heart and soul of Missouri and that Tiger offense. Can the home team neutralize him today? What do you think?
I think they do, man. Vandy's rolling. Pavia's got this team playing different level. Clark Lee's got great effort bought in from his team. I like the Commodores in the spot. If you remember earlier, I was all over Missouri, but Missouri got found out pretty quick. And all Vandy has to do is follow what Alabama did to Missouri. If you take away the run from Missouri, they can't really do much. Bo Pebril is kind of one dimensional. Like he's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but he's more of a threat as a runner than he is as a passer, which I didn't expect watching that game back. But I'm all over the Commodores in this matchup. What does worry me is if Missouri, Vanderbilt isn't very good in the red zone, so if Missouri gets it down there, they'll likely punch it in. But I think Diego is. I don't know. I don't think Diego's losing in his house, man. I'm on Vandy.
Yeah, I like Vandy. I think that bookies got it right. I think that it's going to be a really tight game. Give me Vanderbilt by 4. All right, so our next matchup is a matchup of a couple teams trending in 2 different directions. We got number 11, BYU at Iowa State. Iowa State is a minus 2.5 favorite. The Cyclones and Matt Campbell are on a 2-game losing streak. BYU wanting to get that defining road win. The Cougars' offense is extremely efficient, especially on the ground. On the other side, the offense for the Cyclones, Rocco Becht has been pretty solid this season as a dual-threat quarterback. Both teams will be tested defensively. BYU riding off of that huge win in Utah. Confidence is at an almost all-time high in Provo. I liken it to the days of Ty Detmer. No reason to think that the Cougars wouldn't be in for a big win here. That's why I'm taking the Cyclones and the under 49.5. Jimmy, what do you got?
You're on the trap game. I like that. This could be a trap game. I'm on the Cougs, man. I don't know how many more games they got to win for people to put respect on them. They've been playing pretty good ball. They have a really good run offense. Their defense is hard nosed. I like them in this spot. I do like Rocco Beck. If you notice, like I was talking him up a lot. It's just
Yes.
they've been on a skid recently, like you said. They lost to Colorado, who I don't think very highly of Colorado. So I mean, I'm on the Cougs on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I just really feel like those all-time highs are extremely difficult to go against and play at a team
Yeah.
like Iowa State. So
That
it's
does
going to be
worry
very
me a little bit.
difficult for them to get that win here based on that ideology. All right, our next game, number 23, Illinois, plus 4.5 at Washington. This game is a little bit scary for me, to be honest. I mean, why wouldn't you take the 4.5 and a solid Illini team who has been in the top 25 all year long, as high as 13? Jimmy, what are you thinking?
I'm on the Illini here, and also the over because listen, Washington's burned me too many times, man. I believed in this team way too much. They do have great position players: Jonah Coleman, Denzel Boston, Damon Williams at quarterback. Like these guys should be winning games, but they just aren't, and it's actually getting frustrating. But their defense isn't nothing crazy. Luke Altmaier is going to have all day back there to throw, and when he has all day, you know how precise he is. He's only thrown one interception this entire season. I like the over in this game. That's my favorite play, but I'm also taking Illinois with the points just to get a side on it. But if you were going to play one, I would just play the over.
Yeah, I like the over here. I mean, I feel like the Husky Stadium has got to be the answer why Illinois is getting 4.5. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, we know when we see spreads, typically the home team gives 3. So we know that there's a 1.5 point favorite for Washington. Maybe the experts got it right. Maybe Washington's going to click this game and they're going to beat Illinois. Who knows? But what I know is both teams are extremely capable at quarterback, and they both can take over the game. Altmaier takes care of the ball. He doesn't turn it over, as you said. And Williams can run the ball and pass the ball. And that may cause a huge issue for the Illinois defense. But I still love the Illinois pick plus 4 and the over. All right. Before we move on to our next game, I'd like to mention MyBookie AG. MyBookie AG, one of our sponsors. You can use MyBookie AG to put all your shekels on one team or another as long as you like them. You can use the QR code on your screen to be able to do that. Next game up, an ACC matchup of two teams that are kind of middle of the pack right now. Wolfpack of NC State at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a 6.5 point favorite. And the Wolfpack are 4-3. The Panthers are 5-2. This is a game where are these teams going to stay relevant as the season progresses? We have talked about CJ Bailey lighting up this season for the Wolfpack. Pittsburgh's quarterback is looking to prove his worth. Brand new quarterback starting. Mason Heinschel. Could he get a win here? What do you think, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm all over Pittsburgh in this spot. He's that freshman quarterback. I'm not even going to try to attempt to say his name like he did. He's been balling, man. I think he's 2-0, 3-0 maybe. He's been balling. I like him. The Pittsburgh defense is a good run stopping defense, and that's where NC State gets the meat of their offense from. I feel like Pittsburgh minus the 6.5 is a really good play here.
Yeah, I also like the under. Is 53.5. I like the under 53.5 here, as well as the Pittsburgh minus 6.5. All right, another matchup we have here: Baylor at number 21 Cincinnati, minus 4.5 for Cincinnati as the favorite. Listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I love the over in this one, and this over is 67.5 right now. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. But here's the problem. The Bearcats are going to tear through that wet paper bag of a defense in the Bears. It just isn't going to happen for them. I think both teams are going to score. I think Baylor may score 28. But I'm telling you right now, Cincinnati might put 50 up on this team.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, you're going to see two great quarterbacks out there go sling the rock. Brett Sorsby on Cincinnati's been balling. Cincinnati still has a chance to make a push for the Big 12 championship game. I believe they're still undefeated. And then Baylor has a chance to play spoilers. Sawyer Robertson's been playing good ball all year long. It's just his defense can't stop a nosebleed. I'm also with you. I mean, the points is 67 is crazy, but it's very likely in this matchup with two high-powered offenses, and neither one of those teams have a good defense. But I'm all over it. I'm all over the Bearcats in this spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Bearcats have been our pick, I think, all year. So moving on to the later games, 7 o'clock, 7:30 kicks. A potential huge matchup here. And it's one that could really, really change the landscape if there's an upset. And it could be a solidification for one team. And that's number 3, Texas A&M at 20, LSU. LSU getting 2.5. A&M looking to keep their undefeated record intact in Death Valley and Tiger Stadium. LSU coming off a loss to Vanderbilt, who seems to be relevant in the top 10 right now, and hoping to rebound against one of the better teams in the nation. A&M has all the pieces that you want for a nationally contending team. They are hoping to look to put their name on a trophy at the end of the year. They have a strong run game, a dual threat quarterback, and a really solid defense. LSU has a history of high-level competition, regardless of their record in the SEC and nationally. Brian Kelly typically has a good game plan on offense, but this year it's been full of inconsistencies. I cannot stand Brian Kelly as a Notre Dame. It looks like A&M is on its way to another playoff run. However, interestingly enough, the Aggies are 0-6 since joining the SEC at Tiger Stadium. I like, but not love, the LSU Tigers to squeak out a game of ups and downs, and Texas A&M to get their record ruined. What do you think, Jim?
See, here's how I see this game, right? I mean, Brian Kelly, normally, you've seen the LSU team, or Brian Kelly, just in general, he always has that one game where it's like he wins a game that he shouldn't. And this should be the spot. But I like this Texas A&M team, man. I like the Aggies in this spot just because LSU really hasn't done much to impress me. Garrett Nussmeier definitely had his best game of the season last week against Vandy. I will give him that. But their offensive line is not very good. Their defense or their run game hasn't been established. Their defense is the only thing keeping them in it. But even then, it's been shown to have problems. I like the Aggies in this spot, but if you also notice, every time Texas A&M has a road game, their defense just kind of disappears. So if you want to hold your nose play, it's the over, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I think like the A&M Aggies can go out there and score, and if Nuss is finally healthy again, he can put up some because his offense is loaded. It's just he's just been hurt. If you watch how he plays from last year to this year, there's no zip on the ball like there used to be. But he's starting to look better. All their receivers can run the 4-3, so they got flyers on the outside for LSU. If this is the game, Nussmeier is back, the over could be the play. Just saying.
Okay. Very quietly, Jimmy picks the over here. All right. So before we get on to the game of the week, which is a noon kickoff, which is going to kick off in about an hour and a half from now, MLB Shop is one of our great sponsors. You can get all of your MLB needs at MLBshop.com. If you're looking to get the 2 World Series teams, the Dodgers are in the playoffs. They're in the World Series once again, looking to defend their championship. I'm not going to say that I'm an MLB expert, but I'm telling you right now, you better take the Dodgers, and whatever the spread is, they're going to cover it. All right, getting back to the game of the week at noon, number 8, Ole Miss at number 13, Oklahoma. Oklahoma minus 14.5 favorite. Now, you would think like in a game like this, there wouldn't be that big of a spread if it was 2 teams that aren't exactly a national contender at this moment. Like they're in the playoffs, but they could be bounced out. So this one is a matchup of two SEC new rivals, with Oklahoma just joining. But both of them have 2 losses. One loss. Leaving in this game, a 2-loss team probably not going to get into the playoffs. This is the first time, though, ever in the history of college football that the Running Rebs are playing at Norman. Oklahoma boasts a pretty solid defense led by its incredible red zone play. Ole Miss is an offense that's averaging nearly 500 yards. That's right. I didn't stutter. 500 yards a game. And they have a quick aerial attack. This game could be in my opinion, a 34-28 game if Ole Miss can keep the offense going. However, it could also be a 28-13 game if the Sooner defense can limit the explosive plays. Jimmy, what's your take here?
I think you read the parentheses wrong, man. You said 14.5. It's 4.5 is the spread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I did read the parentheses wrong.
Yeah. Listen, Oklahoma, I think this is a trap game, to be honest. The line smells so bad. I want to take Ole Miss here just because of last week, because they should have beat Georgia. They were beating Georgia. They were covering all game until the fourth quarter. Their offense is electric, but something just tells me this is a trap, and Oklahoma is going to come out and win. Oklahoma's defense has been solid. Might be a bit overrated because they haven't really played the best offenses, but John Mateer's getting healthy. I think he'll go out and probably cruise by this number. It is a risky game. I probably see myself losing this regardless. I can't win this game. Whichever side I pick, I know it's going to be wrong, but I'm going with the Sooners. Just I don't know, because I feel like here's how this goes, right? If the Sooners win this game, that means Ole Miss has to win out, and that means Ole Miss would have to play Mississippi State at the end of the year for a playoff spot. And I feel like that game could go crazy. A bunch of rivalry games I feel like this is a year of storytelling, year of setups, and I feel like that this is the best spot for Ole Miss to do that or lose this game because the rest of the schedule really isn't crazy. So this is the last hard game they have, in my opinion. So I feel like Oklahoma takes it.
I also like Oklahoma, and I didn't misread your text. You put minus 14.5, by the way.
Oh, my fault.
but
It's 4.
That's okay. We know it's 4.5. We know it's 4.5. 4.5. I love laying the 4.5. I also like the over. I think Ole Miss is going to have some success early on in the game. I feel like Lane Kiffin is a really good game planner. And that offense is going to click a little bit until Brett Venables makes defensive adjustments. Then in the second half, you're going to see a lot more of that Oklahoma offense grinding out the game and scoring touchdowns, because it's hard when you're a defense that plays a lot of passing games against a lot of passing offenses, and you see a running game like they have with Mateer and the running backs at Oklahoma. I feel like that grinded out second half team winds up opening up that type of defense. So I like the over in this game. Before we get on the spreads of the week, NFLshot.com, anything you want, jerseys, shirts, hats, anything for your tailgating pleasure, your game day experience, you can get your stuff at NFLshop.com. All right, spreads of the week. A team that we have loved all season, although they disappointed us a few times. Oklahoma State is at Texas Tech. We love Texas Tech, minus 33.5. Jimmy, what do you got?
Yeah, Oklahoma State's just not very good, man. I think this even jumped to 37, which I don't like as much, but this is going to be a whomping. It's Oklahoma State fired Gundy, and they haven't looked good regardless. They lost to Tulsa. They lost their soul. Oklahoma State's just going out there and they're just getting beat every week. Their fans are taking off their shirt in the stadium in the crowd just to have something to cheer for, man. They ain't got nothing on that football field.
Mike Gundy is not saying he's 40 anymore. He's saying get me out of here. Another game, Wisconsin at Oregon. Oregon minus 33.5. I mean, Oregon is possibly one of the highest scoring offenses in the country, and maybe it might be ever, like as far as NCAA history goes. What are you thinking, Jim?
Yeah, bro, Wisconsin hasn't scored in 2 games. The past 2 games, Wisconsin has been scoreless. Wisconsin might be one of the worst Power 4 teams this year, which it sucks because back in the day, the days of yore, you would see a really good Wisconsin hard-nosed run game, big lineman, big boy doing stuff. Now, Luke Fickell came in there, made it an air raid offense. It has not worked out at all. And, yeah, the Ducks will fly.
Yeah, I think that, back in the days of what you're talking about with Barry Alvarez, Ron Dane, a guy I played with in high school, I thought that was going to be their identity forever. I just don't see them adapting to that type of offense, only because the recruits they're getting there aren't the guys you need for them to compete against the Ohio States, even the Penn States, who are falling out of national relevance at the moment with James Franklin finally getting fired because he's a loser. But that's neither here nor there. But at the end of the day, this team does not have an identity, and I just don't see Oregon slowing down one little bit. Another team that has a 30-plus point spread is Miami. They're hosting Stanford, minus 30.5.
Yeah, Stanford, I believe you can double check me if I'm wrong. They got the only win that mattered to them last week. They got like a real high win. Miami lost, as we know, to Louisville. I feel like they're just going to come out and let all their frustrations out on Stanford coming 3 hours across the country. It's going to be bad.
You better believe it. I mean, I can't stand the Hurricanes or the Seminoles, and I have no doubt that Miami is going to absolutely destroy, and that's a capital D, destroy. I just, Stanford is just, I mean, they're 3-4. And so they're winning some football games, but I just don't see them, really doing anything to slow down Miami. They won against Boston College this year. They lost to Hawaii. They lost to
my Islanders, the Rainbow Warriors.
I hear you. They're just the Warriors now, but they used to be. But they lost to BYU. They lost to Virginia. Okay. Yeah. They lost to Virginia. They lost to SMU. And then last week, out of nowhere, they beat Florida State.
Florida State's just down bad. That's what it is.
I don't understand what happened here, but there's just no way that now that they beat Florida State, there's no way that Miami could take them lightly. I mean, that's just, I understand that Florida State's not good, but they're also not terrible. They're not a terrible team either. All right, moving on to another spread of the week. Number 22, Texas at Mississippi State. Mississippi State getting 6.5. What are you thinking?
I'm all over the dog. This is the underdog section. This is the dogs, and I'm rolling with the dogs. Arch Manning, you're a fraud. You're a fraud. You was in an overtime game last week with Kentucky. Kentucky, bro.
Hey, the Wildcats have been pretty good the last couple of years. Come on, Jim.
Hey, Mark Stoops can't coach his way out of a freaking paper bag, man. I don't care. This is the under is the play here, but if you want to pick a side, bro, Mississippi State plus the points every day.
Gotcha. All right, all over it. All right, last spread of the week in the underdog section, the Pat Fitzgeralds, Northwestern plus 7.5 at Nebraska.
Yeah, fade the cosplayer, man. Nebraska, until you get a quarterback with his own personality and his own identity, bro. What are you doing? Like Northwestern, low key is not a bad team neither. Like they put up some fighting games. Like they beat the Penn State, the downfall of Penn State. They were the final nail in the coffin to send James Franklin packing, man. Like Northwestern has a chance to make a bowl appearance this year, and I feel like they can get through this Nebraska team who isn't really all there.
I actually feel like Northwestern could win this game straight up without the points.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
I really feel like that could happen. I don't know if it'll happen. I'm not, 100% confident that will happen. But I will say that Northwestern is a team who's starting to turn around. Yes, they beat Penn State, and Penn State was falling apart. But at the end of the day, Nebraska and Matt Rule, with all that money they put out, I don't know that they're getting the results they wanted yet. But it may be a couple of years. He is a guy who was at Temple, who is a local college near me, that has done a pretty solid job wherever he's been. Baylor, and then at Temple. Obviously in the NFL, he wasn't as effective. But I feel like Northwestern could win this game straight up. And that's about a 25 to 30% chance that could happen. So if you're looking to take a risk, Northwestern might be a safe risk. All right, so before we get on the segment I love to give you guys, Walmart is one of our sponsors. We appreciate Walmart. Thank you for all their support. You can go to Walmart, get food. You can get all kinds of stuff for the house, right? If you want to get a big screen TV at a really good price, go to Walmart and they'll take care of you. All right, getting on to games no one will want to watch this week. All right, Jimmy, I know you love this. You're always smiling when I give these. So
Hey,
here we go. Yeah, and obviously all these teams are not ranked.
yeah.
And I don't know that they ever will be. But somebody loves them out there, and that's App State. They're plus 13.5 at Old Dominion. I love App State. I lived in North Carolina for a little bit, and App State was a team that everybody kind of wrapped their hands around if you weren't in the Research Triangle Park area. App State plus 13.5. Georgia Southern at Arkansas State. Arkansas State giving 1.5. I will take Arkansas State. Another team I love for whatever reason. I don't know why. Louisiana is at Troy. Troy's the team I love for some reason. They're minus 9.5. I'm taking the 9.5. All right. Taking the 9.5. I just feel like Troy's a solid defensive team. They can really be explosive, but the Raging Cajuns may have something to say about that. And the last one is UConn at Rice. I'm taking the over in the 49.5. UConn at Rice. Before we get to our parting words, last mention all our sponsors: BetUS, MyBookie.ag, NFL Shop, MLB Shop, Walmart, and then also you can visit our Not Move podcast merch store for any of your merch needs. You know, you got hoodies in there, you got T-shirts, anything you want to do to represent the podcast. We appreciate all your support. Jimmy, what do you got going out here?
Just wahoo wah, baby. Go watch some football. Go watch some fights. Crazy fight card today too. If you ain't feeling the football card, the fight card's pretty solid too. But all y'all have a great day. Good sports weekend. Stay safe.
Yeah, absolutely. The Irish are off this week, so they can't lose. That's a good thing. But if you don't like football at night, you can watch the World Series. The Dodgers are looking to defend the title, as I said before. Lock it up right now, ladies and gentlemen. They're covering the spread. I'm telling you right now. But go enjoy some college football, guys. Thanks for tuning into the Not Move podcast, college football edition. We hope that you loved it. If you like it, spread the word. We love all kinds of viewers. And if you have any questions, you can always comment. But thanks again, Not Move podcast, college football game day. See you next week.
This non-casual podcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or reused without the authorized written consent of the Not Move Podcast Network. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.